fundamental truth of human existence. I'm sorry. We're all out of that today. Could I get you something else? A salad, perhaps. So you think you're gonna change the world, huh? Well, that's great, that's great. I'm glad that you got it all figured out, right? I'm glad that you got these answers. You got everything all fucking solved and shit. That means I ain't gotta worry about nothing no more, you know what I'm saying? It means I don't have to fucking sit around scratching my little temple and wondering about the problems of the world, because you got it all figured out. I'm glad for that. I'm glad someone's finally fucking found the solution they need to all of life's little problems. Makes me feel happy. Howdy. I'm the Amazing Atheist. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but people keep asking me to make a video, so I'm making a video. You know what? I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. I don't even know what I don't give a fuck about. You know them things that people do, you know, trends, that's what I'm trying to talk about. I'm trying to talk about trends, you know. Are you listening? Wake the fuck up. It's trend time. It's time to talk about trends a little bit, because see, there's three kinds of people when it comes to trends. Actually, maybe there's more, but I don't know. You know, 3's a good number. Let's start from 3, and then we'll see if there's anyone else after we're done with the 3. There's people who follow trends, and there's people who don't follow trends. And then there's people like me who sometimes follow trends, but not because they're trends, but just because I like them, you know. This YouTube thing is one of those trends. I didn't do this because it was a trend. I did it because I thought it sounded cool. Show I like, Full Metal Alchemist. After I started watching it, became really trendy, and people are like, I liked that show, and then it became really trendy, and I stopped liking it. And I told those people, well, you're a fucking weak-willed son of a bitch if you're going to let those people control what you do, either by their association or by their lack of association. Then you're just as bad as the trend people. You know, people who consciously avoid anything that is trendy, and people who are consciously always trendy. It's the same shit. You know, if you're doing something because a bunch of other people are or aren't doing it, then you're just a fucking moron. And unfortunately, the vast majority of people fall into those two categories, either the trend setters or the anti-trend setters, anti-trend followers, whatever. I guess not setters necessarily. You could subdivide each group into setters and followers, I guess, except for the third group, which really doesn't have setters or followers. The third group being people like me, in case you're losing the narrative here. And I could see why you might, because I'm not exactly the most coherent person at the moment, which I don't know what time it is, but it's sometime in the middle of the night, or probably the early hours of the morning when the day is new, and only I and my fellow insomniacs are there to greet it. They are waiting at the exit of the birth canal, or the entrance of the birth canal, depending on your perspective. Waiting to greet the new day. Waiting to watch it be born, and letting it, you know, crawl around before the sun comes up and it goes off on its own and becomes a man or a woman, whatever. I always think of the day as a man, but you can think of it as a woman, because the day has a penis, I think. Because if the sun is anything, it's a penis. I think it's more penis-like, more phallic than vaginal. Although it is round and the vagina is ovular, and yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm just being biased, but you know, if you just imagine the sun as the head of a giant cock, then you can kind of see how it's phallic, I think. Or you can imagine it as a cock from the above perspective, so it just looks round, because you're like looking down at the shaft and you're just perfectly looking at it, you know what I'm saying? So it just looks like a round circle, you know? So the sun is very phallic. And the moon, of course, is like a little cum spot in the sky. And that's all good. Everything rocks, you know, whatever. Anyway, look at the time. I gotta go. Bye-bye.